In the vast tapestry of ancient mythology, few figures evoke as much fear and fascination as Thanatos, the personification of death in Greek mythology. Imagine living in a world where death wasn't just an abstract concept, but a tangible force, one that walked among the gods and mortals, influencing every aspect of life. This is the world the ancient Greeks inhabited, and Thanatos was at the heart of it all. Thanatos, whose name literally means death, was not merely a god but a demon, a powerful, often malevolent spirit. Unlike the more violent and chaotic deities of war and destruction, Thanatos was a quieter, more inevitable force. He didn't revel in the chaos of battle or the suffering of disease. He simply marked the end, the final chapter in the story of life. To the Greeks, death wasn't something to be feared in the same way we might fear it today. It was seen as a natural part of the cycle of existence, as certain as the rising and setting of the sun. But who was Thanatos really? In the grand hierarchy of the Greek pantheon, he was a relatively minor figure, especially when compared to the Olympian gods like Zeus or Athena. However, his role was no less significant. He was often depicted as a winged youth, somber and solemn, sometimes carrying a sword or an inverted torch, a symbol of life extinguished. The ancient Greeks believed that Thanatos resided in the underworld, in the deep abyss of Tartarus, alongside his twin brother Hypnos, the god of sleep. Together, they represented two sides of the same coin, one offering rest, the other eternal slumber. In many ways, Thanatos was the counterbalance to life, the force that ensured that life's journey had an end. His presence was a reminder of mortality, the finite nature of human existence, and the inevitability of death. The Greeks didn't view Thanatos with the same dread that modern societies might associate with death. Instead, he was seen as a necessary force, a natural conclusion to the journey of life. He was neither malicious nor benevolent. He simply was. Yet, Thanatos was not without his challenges. In some myths, he was tricked or overpowered, a testament to the complex relationship the Greeks had with death. One of the most famous tales involving Thanatos is the story of Sisyphus, the cunning king of Corinth. Sisyphus, known for his deceitful nature, managed to cheat death not once, but twice. In the first instance, Sisyphus tricked Thanatos by asking him to demonstrate how the chains of death worked. When Thanatos complied, Sisyphus swiftly bound the god himself, preventing death from claiming any lives. As a result, no one on Earth could die, causing chaos and disrupting the natural order. Eventually, the gods intervened, and Thanatos was freed, restoring the balance. But Sisyphus wasn't done yet. When Thanatos came for him again, Sisyphus instructed his wife not to perform the traditional burial rites. Upon reaching the underworld, Sisyphus complained to Hades, the ruler of the underworld, that he had not been properly buried and requested permission to return to the living world to correct this. Hades, unaware of Sisyphus's true intentions, allowed him to go. Once back in the world of the living, Sisyphus simply refused to return, once again defying Thanatos and the natural order. This time, however, the gods were not so lenient. Sisyphus was eventually captured and condemned to an eternity of futile labor, rolling a massive boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down each time he neared the top. The story of Sisyphus illustrates the Greeks' view of death as an inescapable fate. Even if one could outsmart or delay Thanatos temporarily, the end was always inevitable. It also highlights the cunning and resilience of mortals, who, even in the face of such a powerful force, could find ways to resist, if only for a time. Thanatos' influence wasn't limited to the realm of myth. His presence was deeply woven into the daily lives of the Greeks, from their rituals surrounding death to their understanding of the afterlife. The Greeks believed that upon death, a person's soul, or psyche, would leave the body, guided by Thanatos to the underworld. The moment of death was considered a sacred transition, a passage from the world of the living to the eternal rest of the afterlife. Funeral rites were of paramount importance, as they ensured that the soul reached its destination without delay or hindrance. One of the most poignant representations of Thanatos in Greek art is the depiction of the death of Sarpedon, a hero from the Trojan War. In this scene, Thanatos and Hypnos are shown gently lifting Sarpedon's body, carrying him off the battlefield with a sense of solemn dignity. This image contrasts sharply with the more brutal and violent depictions of death in other mythologies, emphasizing the Greek view of death as a peaceful release, rather than a fearful end. In addition to his role in myth and art, Thanatos also appeared in various literary works, where he was often portrayed as a symbol of the inevitable passage of time. The playwright Euripides, for example, used Thanatos as a character in his tragedy Alcestis, where he is portrayed as a relentless, but not entirely malevolent figure. In the play, Thanatos comes to claim the life of Alcestis, who has offered to die in place of her husband, Admetus. However, her selflessness and love are so profound that Heracles, the great hero, intervenes and wrestles Thanatos into submission, forcing him to release Alcestis from death's grip. This story, like many others, reflects the complex relationship the Greeks had with death, a mixture of fear, respect, and acceptance. Thanatos' influence can also be seen in the later development of Western thought and literature. His image as the personification of death has persisted through the ages, influencing countless works of art, literature, and philosophy. From the medieval Danse Macabre, where death is depicted as a skeletal figure leading the living in a final dance, to modern portrayals of the Grim Reaper, the legacy of Thanatos continues to shape our understanding of death. Yet, despite his pervasive influence, Thanatos remains a somewhat elusive figure, often overshadowed by other gods and heroes. This might be due to the Greeks' ambivalence towards death. While they acknowledged its inevitability, they were also keenly aware of the joys and struggles of life, and many of their myths reflect a desire to delay or escape death's embrace for as long as possible. In this way, Thanatos serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between life and death, a balance that the Greeks believed was essential to maintaining the harmony of the universe. As we look back on the myths and legends of ancient Greece, we can see that Thanatos was more than just the god of death. He was a symbol of the natural order, a force that, while feared, was also respected and accepted. Through the stories of Sisyphus, Alcestis, and countless others, we gain insight into the Greek psyche and their understanding of mortality, a view that continues to resonate with us today. So, the next time you hear the name Thanatos, remember that he is not just a figure from ancient mythology, but a reflection of the timeless human experience, the inevitable journey from life to death, and the enduring quest to make sense of it all. And that's a wrap for today's journey down the historical highway. If you enjoyed this exploration into the myths and legends of ancient Greece, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the fascinating stories of our past. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep traveling through history with us.